with your name and if you want to say anything about your connection to Nance, briefly.
No.
So.
Okay, I'm Tassie. I'm Betty's sister and Nancy's sister-in-law. I'm so happy to be here.
And I'm Cassie. We hope everybody else can rhyme with our two names. I'm Cassie, an old friend of Betty and Nance.
Oh, I'm afraid I have to break it already. Christina, and I know Betty and Nance through some mutual friends from Toronto, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, we almost house sat. My former partner and I almost house sat for you a number of years ago.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And what about Roz? Sorry, I don't want to leave her.
Okay. Hi, I'm Roz. I know Nance through Kathy, my partner, who met, shared a room with Nancy at a conference.
I'm Annie, and I met Nance. Where is Nance? Okay. I met Nance, my soul sister, the Capricorn, through Ian. And she was, at the time when I met her, warbling about whether she was coming to the West Coast or not. Anyway, we encouraged her like crazy, and of course then we met Betty, and the rest is history. But we went on the big Loretto venture together, and the adventure just keeps continuing wherever we go.
My name is Janie Erbauer, and I've known Nance for a long time. She is my baby sister, and I love her dearly, and I'm proud of her, just so proud of her, and Betty also. They're a huge part of our lives, and I'm glad to be here, meeting everybody. I've met most everybody, but it's been great. Right, Nance?
Yeah, great.
Right, Twister.
And I'm Dan. I'm Jeannie's better half.
Yeah.
I have a story. A little story I want to tell you about.
Here we go. Here we go, Nance.
I grew up in Chicago, and I had 3 brothers, but I didn't have a sister. So when I married Janie, I had an instant sister, and she was great. But I was thinking about this event today, and you guys know that she's been writing poetry for a long time, but most of the good stuff she's written down in the Baja, when she walks on the beach by the Sea of Cortez, thinking life and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, could I try something and be as good as her? I know I'll never be that good. So I wrote a little one.
Wow, right ahead of you. I love it.
There once was a writer named Nance who gave life songs its publishing chance. She bikes Victoria streets, winters where warm weather meets, in Baja. Now that's life's best dance. Congratulations, Nance, on your book launch. It's exciting to have a published author almost next door to us.
Oh,
Love you.
love you too, Dan. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Booley, and I think I probably met Betty and Nance at a party at Annie and Ian's. Most likely the first time. And I don't know whether that was when the Babes with Balls were
Yes, it was.
formed. And that was yeah, the Babes with Balls were Betty, Nance, Annie, and I. And we started playing golf together, and if Rob was our target, we might have hit him, but maybe not. But we've come a long way since then in our golf. Anyway, that's how I met Betty and Nance.
I'm Rita, and I was going to say I've probably known Nance longer than anybody here, but actually I haven't. But I've known Nance since we were in our high school years, and we've been best friends ever since. And I'm pretty sure in her yearbook she said when she grew up she wanted to be a cowgirl rustling cattle. But who knew, a future poet laureate.
No, who knew?
I'm Jim, and met Nance and Betty through Ken and Rita.
Right on.
Here we are.
And I'm Julie. I'm with Jim, and we are new friends to Nance and Betty. And very glad that they come with this big elaborate resume of people and adventures.
I'm Kathy, and I'm one of the tennis buddies, and we've had some great time in a very short amount of time. I feel like Nance is one of my dearest friends, and I'm so glad I got to meet you through Rita. Yeah.
Right on.
I'm Angie, the other half of Bob. We are the Loretto connection, and I don't know how long we've known Nance and Betty for.
A lifetime.
It's nothing like the end. It's pretty short, but it's, you know, we have such a special thing going in Loretto with us. We live very close to each other in our little homes, and we're in and out of each other's doors.
Yeah.
You know, like
In and out of jail.
In and out of jail. We go through all the trials and tribulations and all the happiness and wonderful times that we have in Loretto. And honestly, without them there, it just wouldn't be much fun.
Yeah.
So we are so fortunate. Thank you for being there. And wow, a poet. Who knew? I had no idea.
I don't know, 5 years ago or something of that nature. So Nance and I lived in parallel worlds. Unbeknownst to each other, we lived in the same district. Nance dated one of the guys I played lacrosse with that I've been pals with for 50 years. And so we have this connection that just intertwines and connects all over the place. Most importantly, we have connected as really, really dear friends. That's all of you are, because they're wonderful. And we love them both. Perhaps the most important thing I do with Nance and Loretto is give her free legal advice.
And lots of vodka to get through it all.
which has been very, very timely. Her transgressions that we
Do they know all this?
We don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
to tell them.
Yeah, we do.
We don't want to get into it.
They know.
No.
They know. They know.
Anyway, we're very, very pleased to be included in the dear friends that you are, because we consider you exactly the same.
Thank you.
And Vicky, you just joined us?
Sorry for being late. I got so lost, even with my little handwritten notes.
I get it.
I met Nance in Toronto a million years ago. And then when I came to Victoria in 2003, we reconnected, had the pleasure of meeting Betty and hanging out together. And I love you, and I'm so excited for you. And thank you for always welcoming me in your home.
Betty? Yeah? Can I just say something? Yeah. I just remember back in the 90s when I first met Nance, she was always wringing her hands about, well, all my friends are in Toronto. And what if I move to Victoria? I'm going to lose all my friends. And I don't know anybody here. So hearing you all go around this circle, I was just struck by not only all your new friends and friends you've made here, but also the people that you've brought out to Victoria, your sister and Rita, you know, like that. And so it all turned out.
Oh, I did. Thank you, Cass.
So now I'm gonna just turn it over to the
Okay,
celebrated
okay,
poet
okay,
who aspires
thank you.
to be, I think, what did you say, poet laureate of Esquimalt?
Kind of like that.
Sax Point, anyway.
Sax Point. So first of all, I want to thank Kathy and Ross for sharing your beautiful space, and Keeper. He's not here today, their beautiful Labradoodle. He couldn't be here because he'd be too excited. But thank you so much for sharing your space. It's wonderful to be able to be here. I want to thank my pal, my editor-in-chief, who spent many Friday afternoons helping me go through poems, my pal Rita, editing poems,
With a little bit of beer.
a little bit of beer, typing poems. It was, couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. I want to thank my sister-in-law, Tassie, who flew out from Toronto to be here with us, who's the best sister-in-law ever. And Tass is also, I wanted to say Rita's also an accomplished artist. Rita has her abstract art in the book, which is so cool. And Tassie, my sister-in-law, also an accomplished artist, has some of her beautiful art in the book. I want to thank Julie, oh my God, my producer and designer.
Julie was amazing. She really pulled it together. Oh my God, Julie, you were so organized, skillful, patient. Again, I couldn't have done it without you. Oh, well, it was so great. I want to thank my life partner, my love of my life, Betty, who has been a support all along, has had faith in me. I thank you and I love you and I really appreciate all that you do for me. Thank you. I also want to thank my sister. I'm so glad you're here, Jay. You're so important to me. And there is a poem about you.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, so okay.
I read it every night.
Before bed. I hope so. I hope so.
So, Nancy's going to read a couple of poems, but before that, I thought you might just want to speak to what's inspired you and what was involved in pulling the book, and then she'll read a couple of poems, and then very short Q&A if anybody has questions. Then we're going to have some food and drinks.
Yep.
And if anybody needs bathrooms, there's one around the corner down the stairs or one through the house.
Yeah.
And thank you, Erica, for being here.
Yeah,
too.
Erica's so great. So I'm just going to say, when I was younger, I wasn't a big reader. I was a bit dyslexic. I had trouble concentrating. And so poetry really was perfect for me. It was short. It spoke to me. It had depth. It touched me. I felt like it captured moments of experience that we all have. And for all the artists, it was like painting a picture with words. And really I wanted to be a poet. And in fact, I had a fantasy. I was a poet, and I had a name called Nana Peel. I was about 11. So probably a past life. And I was also inspired by a lot of poets. I was inspired by Rilke, John O'Donohue, David White, and also mostly Mary Oliver, who loves animals and nature, and she just really touched me with her beautiful work of art. So that inspired me. I did sign up for one course in poetry at Camosun College, and I went to the first class, and I dropped out because it was so serious and structured and ruled, and I thought, no, I'm not going to do this. So I became part of a group here. A good friend of mine who's a professor at U of Vic and her colleagues, we'd all meet informally and share prose and poetry, what we'd written off and on. And then I had a poetry group it wasn't a poetry group, it was a writer's group in Loretto in the winter. And we would meet regularly and again, just share what we had written and get feedback, and it was just it made you want to write because you had that support. So I'm gonna, you guys should get comfortable because I'm gonna read about 20 poems. Just kidding. But you should get your drinks and cover, and I'm gonna read a few poems.
Okay, so there's drinks in the greenhouse if anybody.
I don't know how many of you have read some of the poems. But I think you could, if you have, you could probably all identify with this experience. Okay, and it's called O Holy Night. And I'm going to read this poem, not just because there's been a few people, Betty, Rob, Rita, that have been at my side when I've had this experience and asked God to forgive me. This, however, I was by myself in Loretto, and it was quite an experience. I'm surprised, Angie and Bob, you didn't hear me screaming.
Probably did, just was another night.
So it's called O Holy Night. Summoned to the altar, I kneel naked on cold, hard tile, bowing my head over the white halo of the toilet seat, tainted water waiting to be flushed away, cleansing my body of unwanted demons. I pray, I cry, I moan and groan, and I ask God to forgive me. For what, I do not know. Wailing sounds of my voice make it possible to tolerate the spinning, wrenching, heaving of my gut. 8 hours later, half dead, mouth drier than a bone, I crawl back to bed. Thoughts whirl. What did I do last night? Okay, so that's one. So I'm going to go to the, because we're on the theme of forgiveness, I'm going to read about forgiveness. Can we forgive ourselves for what was and is no longer? Memories in the rearview mirror fade as we move along. Can we let go, smile like the dolphin in the sea, glistening, gliding, feeling free? When someone lets you down, they are not who you want them to be, who you need them to be, who you wish they could be. They fall short, they disappoint, you feel mad and you feel sad. Can we forgive them for what we hoped for and is no longer? You can hold the applause. Okay, two more. One's a short one. This is about my mom, who was a pretty, as my sister and I would say, very amazing, intense woman, and had a big impact on us, good and bad. Right?
Well said,
Moon Mother. Been the 12th full moon since she died. We said goodbye 1,000 times. The last one she said, "Go now, it's too hard." My core aches. Her laugh, her smile, her warm touch. Her sharp tongue pierced my flesh, but her powerful presence warmed my soul. She was my mother. And the last one. How's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Okay. Where will I be? As I sit beside myself, I wonder, I ponder, where will I be when I am no longer? As I sit and look out, I am held by the mountains, soothed by the sea, caressed by the breeze, touched deeply by the beauty I see. Where will I be when I am no longer? Okay, that's it. There could be a sequel, a movie.